Right, how's it going, guys? Welcome back to another video. I hope you've all been really good. I have been very good. I've just been busy. But I'm just gonna make a quick video on, well, I'll show you a few updates. And I planted up a large container. I put all my begonias in, well, not all of them, a good chunk of them in just one container, because I really want to try to keep on top of the watering a bit more, because I kept leaving them until they wilt and then I'd water them, and like the growth was just really slowing down because every time they'd grow a new leaf in, they'd lose the old one, and it just wasn't making nice full begonias like I wanted. So I decided to put them into a large container. I managed to get a really good deal on these two containers. I got them for £5 each. Let me show you one. They're really heavy, but it's just, it makes so much more sense. I don't know why I haven't done it sooner. They're not that large. I mean they're quite big. But I've just got, look, how cool is that? So I tried to put all my grey foliage begonias all together, and it's just this big metal pot. Doesn't have any drainage, but I really like, I know every time I mention this and every time I put a plant into a pot with no drainage, I always get people comment saying that's a terrible idea and I really should. But like, I strongly disagree. I always do better with pots with no holes, because I know exactly how much water has been absorbed by the soil, like, because I know I'm not an overwaterer, I'm a complete underwaterer, so this, like, if this had a hole in it, my plants would dry out and die. So like, I need no holes. But how pretty is that? So I've got my, let me try and identify all these. I'm not going to be able to. Right. This, good start. Right, escargot. This one, this is one that Emma really likes, and I can't remember the name. This one was something King George or King someone. This is the, is it like Misatra green or like something like that? I know that's so close, but that's gonna do. Yeah, but really pretty. What else is in here? Oh, I've got the one in the center. You see that one in the center with the really like thick veining, well, the coloration following the veining. That's a really lovely one. I don't think I ever did get the name of that one when I bought it, because I bought it years ago. But yeah, so I've got all of these planted up in one container, and since I did that, which was maybe only 2 weeks ago, but I haven't had one of them wilt. I watered them today for the first time in that 2 weeks, and it's just working out so much better. Like, because I love having plants, but I don't like watering. I think I don't like watering because, like, up in my room, I have to run up and down the stairs with a watering can. It just takes, it's just effort that I don't really want to do after work. But anyway, the escargot is looking amazing. I was really worried that I was going to lose that because it looked terrible for a while. Oh, what is this one called? This is, it's like a I'm sure it's like a lady's name or something, but it's really pretty. Anyway, yeah, enough about that. So, if you guys hadn't already guessed, oh, this one's heavier. I have a second one, because I said I bought two. I've put gravel in the bottom already. With the other one, it's got it's got like terracotta pieces at the bottom. This one has gravel at the bottom because I didn't have any more of the terracotta pieces. And it's just multi-purpose compost, and then I've put a load of Osmocote slow release fertilizer in there, which I'm going to mix around. Obviously, I just wanted to show you guys. So that is just the, is that the Miracle Grow Osmocote? It's supposed to last 6 months, so it releases nutrients for 6 months when you water. And I've used it quite a lot. To be fair, that's the only, it's the only fertilizer I've ever really used in my room, other than I use Baby Bio sometimes, but I hardly ever use it. So this I use, and it seems to work. And yeah, so with this, I'm just gonna plant up a few plants. I'm gonna put in my Fittonia, my breakdance, my begonia breakdance, and I think I've got one Scindapsus over there, which I want to plant into it as well. And I just want to put stuff in it so that I don't have to worry about watering it so often. That's my only thinking. Because my original thought was, oh, these bowls would look lovely with succulents in, but I just don't have enough succulents, and they're all over there. I just don't have that many. Well, no, I do have enough to fill up a pot, but my begonias, it just makes more sense to have the begonias in there because all the succulents can really withstand drying out hard. Oops, I broke my puzzle. Yeah, I've been doing puzzles. Right. Okay, so I'm going to change the camera angle, or should I do some updates first? I'll do the updates after. I'll plant this up because it will show you updates as I'm doing it. And then I'd like to show you the propagation box. I'm going to do it all in one video because I think it'll probably be... I think if I had like a person on YouTube that I really enjoyed watching, and then they just uploaded like a 5-minute video after being away for 2 months, I think I'd be a little bit annoyed. So I'm going to do a lot in this video just to make up for lost time. So I'm going to turn the camera around so that you can see this part, and then I'll plant it up, and we're going to go from there. Oh, what the... I'm really sorry, Laura. I've only just mentioned it. I've got my new jumper that Laura, Stories and Succulents, sent me kindly. Thank you so much. I'm really sorry that I just mentioned it 5 minutes into the video. But it's because I just did like 3 intros and didn't like them, so I just started again. But thank you so much. It fits lovely, and I really like the patterns and colours, and it's really cool. And I ain't got to worry about choosing what to wear in my videos because I have a nice planty hoodie now. So that's wicked. Thank you so much for that. I'm really sorry I haven't worn it sooner. I just, as you know, I've spoken to you. But yeah, thank you so much, and let's get on with planting this up. Right, so the first thing I want to put in here is, well, actually I need to stir it up first. Do anything I can stir with my phalanges. Right, I'm going to stir this in first, and I'm going to add some worm castings as well. You don't need to, I don't feel like I need to, but I'm going to anyway. Seems to make a big noise. I'm trying to think of what I can update you with. The caladiums have grown crazy, but they do that thing that alocasias do, where they grow a new leaf and then kill off the old leaves, so they look a bit messy. I think. No, I haven't put them anywhere. Right. Scatterbrain as always. Right, I haven't filled this all the way to the top because obviously as I add plants, it's going to raise the level of the soil. So the first thing I want to put in here is my begonia breakdance, and the reason is because this dries out so quick and I feel like it just hasn't put on any significant growth since I got it. I've got a dead leaf, which is now on the floor. And this is really going to take up a lot of space in here, so I'm probably going to plant it near the edge so that it can hang over the edge, I think. But here's a close-up. It's looking amazing. The leaves are huge, and it's just drying out too much. As you know, I did have it in this pot, but I never ever planted it into the pot. I just had it balancing in there, and it just dries out too quick, which I'm not a fan of. So let's get this out. I've done propagations of this, and they are growing. I think maybe I've got 2 growing, or 3. See the roots? Cool. I don't really know where to put this in here. I'm just, I'll plant it like near the front, which is going to be the back, I think. So, I feel like YouTube has been quiet like recently, and I guess that's probably because I haven't really been on it that much. But I just feel like everyone that was uploading really frequently, apart from Laura, she's keeping it going. She's holding the race for all of us. Yeah, like she's doing the work for all of us right now. Maybe it's just a busy time, I don't know. But yeah, for me, I just got a new job a month and a half ago now. So I finished uni finally and got a new job straight away. I actually got the job before I even finished uni, which I was really excited about, and they were waiting for me until I finished, which was really cool and really kind, and I love it there. It's so good. I really enjoy it. So that's kind of all I've been doing. Well, not really. Yeah, kind of. I went on holiday, so that as well. But yeah, let's get this in here. Right, so now you can't see anything else because I've just planted that in the only space you can see. But there's still a lot of space around this side. Let me turn it. And then what we're going to get in here, I want to plant the Fittonia. And this one was massively wilted this morning, so I just gave it a drink. I don't want it to drip. So this is the Fittonia that Laura sent to me kindly, and it has grown lovely. I've cut off quite a lot from this side to propagate, and they are growing lovely. I cut off a couple more about a week ago. No, about 2 weeks now. So I've got quite a lot of propagations of this, only because I really don't want it to die and I want to have backups if it does. I don't think it will, but they really sulk quickly when you don't water them enough. So let's get that up here. It's quite wet because I soaked it today. But right, so this is going to grow massive and probably take up a lot of space. So I'm going to keep this the opposite side, so that when inevitably it does, this won't get overcrowded. There we go. No, you probably can't see that very well. Yeah, you kind of can. And then I've got 2 big spaces and maybe something in the middle. I'm trying to just plant stuff that's really just taking up space and not really doing well. So, and stuff that's also going to do really well in this really like organic matter rich soil. Right, okay, so I'm going to plant this is a Begonia Bowery tiger claw. I always mess that up. I don't know if it's claw or paw. I think it's paw. But this one was a propagation sent to me by Emma Greenwood here on YouTube, and it's doing really good. Like, it's always done really well, and I've always just kept it in this little pot, and it dries out quite a lot, and then I water it again, and it's never really wilted. I mean, it kind of looks wilted now, but I don't think it is. I think it's just like the weight of the leaves. So I think I'll put this next to this guy. Yeah, right. Do you reckon we're in the middle? I reckon this side. And then, yeah, it's really dry, so it'd be good to get this into some soil. I think the soil level's too low. I can add a bit of soil. Is it too low? No, I don't think it is. Is it? Yeah, I'm so indecisive, as always. Right. I'm just gonna add some soil. That'll do it. So this is just some of the Soil Ninja soil that I've got left over. Oh, I need to show you my Philodendron verrucosum. It is doing amazing. So let me mix this in just a little bit. Right, and then I'm going to plant this little begonia right next to this one. So these don't get too big, so I don't want it to take up, I don't want to like give it too much space, because I don't believe they get too big anyway. There we go. And that's going to do a lot better in there now, because it won't dry out too much. Although I don't think it minds drying out. Mine never has anyway. This is going to look so... I feel like a sense of relief taking stuff out of small pots that dry out so quick and putting them into a big pot that's going to just retain a lot more moisture, and they're just going to do a lot better. So, what else do I not want to die? Oh. No. Okay. No. I'm just looking around my room at little things that I can pot into here, because I've got a lot of space in here. I kind of want something bigger in the middle, but then I don't know. No. Okay, so this may look a bit like over the top or overboard for a chlorophytum, but this chlorophytum was a propagation from the, what's the name of it? Bonnie, I think. Chlorophytum Bonnie, which is the curly variety, and this is a propagation from the one that Glasshouse and Garden sent me. So I only potted it up into this maybe 2 weeks ago, and it came straight out of my like high humidity propagation box, which is why I had the bag over it, because I didn't want it to just go straight away into really low humidity, because I just knew it would decline. So I think I'll plant this just in this gap here, and then it gives me a lot of space. Or I can plant in the middle. No. I'll plant it here. Yeah, right, okay. So this shouldn't have rooted too much into this because it's not been in there for very long. I don't just want to pull it. Let me try and dig it up, because I know it's not rooted very well. Oh yeah, that's coming up nice. Oh wow, whoa, okay, it's grown a lot. Oops. Okay, those roots were not like that the other day. Can you see? Yeah, you can. All those roots. Wicked. That's really good. Let's just dig a hole. Get you in there. I love this one. The one in my bathroom is still doing amazing, and I just love it. I think it's just such an... I don't want to say an underrated plant, because I feel like a lot of people have them, and a lot of people like them. But I feel like they're seen as very, like, beginner. But they are. Although I've killed a few in the past. But I just love it. I think it's really nice. There we go. So... Right, I've just moved it a little bit higher so that you can see it a bit better. I'm just making sure you can't see anything messy in the background. So I've just realised as well, so this was from Nick, Glasshouse and Gardens, this was from Emma, Emma Greenwood, and this was from Laura, Stories and Succulents, and this one I bought myself. But how cool is that? I've got a little trio going on. And the jumper as well from Laura. Right, what else do we want in here? So it doesn't look like too much right now, but I just know these are going to grow really nicely. I'm trying to think if I've got any small propagations that I want to plant up. So I do have a Begonia maculata whitei from Emma Greenwood that I've wanted to plant up for a long time, but I don't know if I want to plant it in here, because I feel like when it gets bigger, it's not going to look amazing in this like display. Okay, so I think I am going to plant it in there just so that it's planted up. As you can see, it's doing all right. It has lost 2 leaves because it keeps drying out, hence why I want to plant it up. But I've given it a good water, so it's going to be nice and damp. And I'm going to plant this like in the middle, or towards the middle, because it's going to obviously get tall because it's a cane begonia. Let's plant it right there, and hopefully nothing's going to overshadow it by the time it... Well, hopefully it'll grow quick enough that nothing's going to overshadow it. Yeah, I mean, I'm not planting this up to look really good, right? It looks alright. Oh. I'm also going to plant this little guy in there. I can't remember the name. I believe it's one of the lipstick plants, but I don't remember. And this is from Emma Greenwood again. This was, yeah, she sent me some propagations of this ages ago when we did the plant swap. And it's growing nice, like it's grown so much since I first got it, but again it just keeps drying out so much that it kind of stunts its growth. So yeah, and it's in such a small amount of soil as well. So I'm just gonna plant this in here and just see what it does, give it a chance to grow, and I'll plant it relatively shallow because I'm gonna add a bit more soil on top, because it's a bit although that's a bit high actually, but it kind of has to be like that. It's a bit... What was I trying to say? The soil level's a bit low on this side and then a bit higher on that side. I think that's it. Right, also, I hate to say this and I hate to show this, but I'm going to. My beautiful begonia propagations that were in this are no longer looking beautiful. They've got like fungus, and so I took the humidity chain, like the propagator lid off, because it was just getting fungus, and I thought I need to remove some humidity. So I did, and unfortunately by that point a lot of them had died off. But my favourite one, which was this Marmaduke variety, there is still alive, so I'm going to salvage it and stick it in there. The fungus has stopped, luckily, but unfortunately it was too late for a lot of them, and now it's just dry because I've just kind of, you know, not looked after it. Let's get this out. Try not to disturb too many roots, but sometimes it's unavoidable. It's going to come back lovely because it's a bit dry. It's just dry. And I think that here, and that'll be the last, I think that'll finish it off nicely. And I'm glad that this variety survived, because this was the one that I was just obsessed about. Oh, although I did really like the other ones as well. It's alright. I'm sure Emma will forgive me. Let's get that in there. Right, and the thing is with the soil, because it's kind of damp, I don't want to water it, although this does look like it needs watering, but it'll absorb the water from the surrounding soil. So I'm not going to water it in because I don't want it to get too wet, because obviously it's in a container that doesn't have holes. Is there anything else salvageable in here? I don't know if this is salvageable, but maybe I'll just plant it just to see. Or I wouldn't like to say. I'm going to plant this just in case. Let me show you. I can't believe I showed you that. I do keep secrets sometimes. When things are doing terribly, sometimes it's very difficult to show stuff. Right, there we go. The Bowery tiger paw is also still alive, but I'm going to pot that up separately because I don't want it in here because I've already got one. Okay, so I think that's going to be all of that for now in this container. Should I tip it up a little just to show you? I mean, it looks like a mess, but I think it's going to look really good once they all get established in there. It's definitely a diverse mix, and it's heavy. I don't know where to put it. I'm just going to put it right here. I balanced it on top of some books so that it was high enough. Let's put this back. Also, very random, but I know Laura may have some suggestions. If anyone has any good book suggestions for like fantasy novels that are about like orcs and elves and that sort of stuff, please leave some suggestions, because it's very, I don't even know how to look for good books, to be honest. Right, so now I'm just going to give a couple of plant updates. I'm sure you can probably guess which ones I'm going to show you because I show you the same ones every time. I'm going to try and speak a bit slower as well. Right, so the first one up is my Hoya macrophylla variegata. It did have a flower here. I'll try and insert a picture because I did take pictures of it, I think. And then it's come on with this lovely new leaf, which has a lot of variegation compared to the two previous leaves, which I'm really excited about. However, there's only one leaf come through, but that's because it flowered as well. But I'm glad it's growing, and I've still got a bit that's like salvaged and it's alive, so that's good, and it's doing really well in this pot. I did fertilize it just a little bit as the leaf was growing, but I haven't fertilized it since, and yeah, so it's doing all right. It's alive, and that's more than we can ask. Right, now this is like the showstopper of my collection at the moment. This, believe it or not, this truly is the Philodendron varicosum that Emma sent me a propagation of, and it was just one leaf, which that original leaf has died off now, and it's in this tiny pot, and it's just doing incredibly. I do kind of want to get it a moss pole, but I kind of also hate moss poles. I like sphagnum moss poles, but I don't like the coir moss poles. So, and Laura mentioned in one of her most recent videos that she's going to be doing a DIY self-watering moss pole, and that is exactly what I've been wanting to do. So I'm going to follow her tutorial, hopefully it's a tutorial, and I'm going to make one for this philodendron. And I just cannot believe how big it's got. Like, the leaves are huge, it's doing amazing, and it's in this tiny pot with no drainage holes, I'll note. So yeah, it's doing amazing, and it just keeps growing. Yeah, it's looking so good. So there's that, my prized possession. If you guys remember, I did a video on propagating string of hearts, my variegated ones. These have all started growing. They do need watering a little bit, but as you can see how successful that was. They're all alive, all rooted, and all growing. And now I have too many of these to even know what to do with, so give me ideas. But they're doing so good, and I just keep this propagation lid on them just so they don't dry out too quickly, and they seem to love it. This is my, wow, that is stunning. This is my third Begonia maculata YTI, and you can see all these lighter leaves in the center. These are all new, and it's just looking beautiful. I've just got it in its nursery pot still. As you can see, it like goes up against the wall. but that is looking beautiful. It's just always done really well, and I was quite surprised because I thought that these would really crisp around the edges. My room's always very humid, and where I live in England is always it's quite a humid environment anyway, but I just never thought that this would do well in my care, but it's doing very well. And my Alocasia amazonica, or Alocasia poly, when it just had that one last leaf, and it's dusty I think, it just had that one last leaf and I really thought it was going to die. It shot up this lovely larger new leaf, so I'm happy about that. And there's actually another leaf coming just there, so I'm glad that I have not killed it and it's actually putting on new growth. I should put that in the middle. Will it die? Oh, I already put something in the middle. What do you reckon? Let me know. You guys, let me know in the comments if I should put this in the middle of this container. Yeah, I'll leave it up to you guys because I'm so indecisive I can't decide. That's a good idea, right? I think. Yeah, because then I won't ever underwater it. And I think that was what the problem was, although, I don't know. Anyway, yeah, right. So this is doing good. Lovely new leaf. Yeah, that looks so good in the middle. Okay, the only problem would be lighting is, but then this is going to be under my other grow light. Let me know. I'm leaving it up to you guys to make the right decision. Right, now this one, don't look, so that's spider web on it. This one I've been wanting to show for a while, but I never have really, well, I haven't made a video in 2 months. So, but those of you that are regular viewers would know that there's been a lot of kerfuffle with Dibley's begonias in their cell pots, the plug plants, right? And I bought a Marmaduke and a Listada and a Connie Boswell, oh, and a Pollux, and there was another one, Black Fang. Anyway, long story short, they've all basically died, but I did a video on it, I transplanted them, took them out of their cells, and you won't believe, me and Emma were correct. And Nick, Glass House and Garden, we knew we were correct about the cells, but here's some proof. Look how well this is doing now that I've taken the cell off. Like, the leaves were never that big. They've never ever been that big. And it's just doing wonderfully. And there you go, that's what you get when you listen to the plant, and like, it's done so much better now that the cell is off and there's new growth. And honestly, I've watered this, what, maybe like 4 times since then. Yeah, at a push. And it's just loving it. It's just doing really well. And it's because the cell was, the cells are really strange, because if you're growing them in a really controlled environment where you can maintain a single level of moisture, then the cell doesn't dry out, but then it never gets too wet that it kills the plant. But as soon as you let it dry out, it becomes hydrophobic. That plastic cell becomes hydrophobic, and it just doesn't absorb water. So it's sitting in what you think is damp soil, but the outer layer is damp, but the actual inside the cell doesn't get damp. And I'm pretty sure that's what the problem is. Emma, let me know if you think the same. But now the cell is off, the water is allowed to like flow freely through the soil, and it just, like, I don't need to say anything, just look, you know. But I'm so happy because the Marmaduke was my all-time favourite begonia that I bought from Dibley's. The others I didn't get a chance to love because they just died too quickly. But yeah, it's just such a lovely colour. And I'm going to propagate this soon. Once I get some space in my propagator, this is going to be propagated. And I'm going to have more than one. And yeah. Oh, and I can add one to one of these pots. Ah, it's just beautiful. Anyway, right, that's that. Right, and then I know I mentioned that all the other ones died, but the Listada is still alive. The soil's a bit wet, but it's got a lot of new growth coming now that I've taken the cell off. It's just never looked very good, but right, you can see it from this angle. You see how wide the stem is? As far as I'm aware, that's called proliferation, and it's like not, well, it's natural, but it's not supposed to be like that. And I think that's partly why it's been struggling so much to grow, because they're just growing in really strange. But once this gets a bit bigger, because this is a cane variety, I believe, I might try and propagate it once it gets bigger, but I just don't know about this one. It's just never done good, but it's doing better now that I've taken the cell off, so there's that. And we've just hit half an hour, guys. Treating you. Right, this is my Begonia Griffin. As you can see, it lost a lot of leaves. The new leaves coming through are really healthy. I'm going to propagate this because it's just an all trunk. Looks like a little palm tree. But it's still alive, it's still healthy. It just dropped a lot of leaves because I did let it dry out. But it's like still doing good. I'm gonna propagate it. I'm gonna follow a tutorial that Nick has uploaded, and he's the guy that sent me this plant. So, oh, I wrote on it Begonia Griffin from Nick on the label. Like, I don't know that I'd ever forget that, but yeah, still doing really well. Obviously, it's not looking as impressive as it was, but it's alive, and I'm gonna propagate it. I'm a bit nervous about cutting up that stem because look how thick it is. And obviously you just cut it into nodes and it grows. Or I could cut it, let the bottom grow as it's already rooted, and then just propagate the top, as in cut the top up. And I think, yeah, you cut them up, lay them on the sides on some sphagnum moss or like perlite, and then they root and grow. So I'm gonna do that, but not yet. I ain't quite got the courage to do it just yet. But beautiful, love that one so much, and I'm glad I didn't lose it. Right, and this is one of my cacti. I added a little crying face because I thought it was cute. And this entire top half is new growth, and I don't remember the name of this one. I did have it in one of my videos, but I'll try and find it. If I don't find it, I apologise. But it has put on so much growth, and it's looking so good. And the spines are so strange. They're like, I don't really know how to describe that. They're just really cool and unique, and I just think that's really, really funny, that little crying pot. Yeah, I think I'm gonna leave it there because the other stuff, I mean, oh, I'll show you one more thing. Right, this one I was gonna make into a whole separate video. However, the beginning of that video is on my old phone, and I just need to accept the fact that I'm never going to make that video. But I have a Stephania erecta, which I treated myself to for Christmas. And obviously I just bought the bulb, and I think I paid 13 quid for just this, it's not called a bulb, what's it called? I can't remember. Anyway, it's growing. And it took, I think it took 2 months to start shooting. And now it has just put out 3 little leaves. And they're so cute. They just look like little lily pads, and I love it. It's really cute. And it's in this really cute bonsai pot. It was like a handmade bonsai pot from Etsy, and Megan, aka Carnivorous Plant Girl, got me this pot for Christmas, which I love it so much. And it's got like a little fishbone pattern on it. I like that, I don't know why. Yeah, so I'll leave it there. I was gonna do like a tutorial on how to grow the Stephania erecta, but I don't think that's gonna happen. Let me know if you guys think you need it, and I might do it. But yeah, right, I'm gonna leave that there. Thank you for watching, thank you for sticking around, and I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know if you think I should put the Alocasia Amazonica in the center here. Let me know, because yeah, I don't want to think about it too much because I won't be able to decide. Yeah, so thank you so much for watching. I hope you're all really good, and I look forward to talking to you in the comments, and I will see you in my next video.